So as I get into these 4 parts, know that this is part of a much bigger framework that I do at organizations and in other environments, workshop style and over time. So the first one is assessing. We have to assess all of the stuff going on, whether it's in our head, in our environment, wherever it is, some form of assessment. Often we start with a brain dump. You can get out a notebook, a piece of paper, set a timer, and just start letting it out. This will create some space in your head so that you actually can do some strategic thinking. Then what do you do with this list? There are lots of things, and they get built into the framework depending on the type of person you are. This is all very custom to your projects, custom to you as an individual. So after you've gotten all of this out, what do you do with it? A few things might already pop to the top, clear things that you have to do today. The priorities sometimes just bubble up when you see it all on paper. And with any of those top 2 or 3 things, I'd recommend what is the very next action you need to take with any of those. It's very rare that we can complete one of these big projects in one day. Just think in terms of next actions. David Allen is the one who's known for claiming that, right? And then you also probably have things on this list that fall into categories like chores. We all have work chores, invoicing, prospecting engagements. We also have home chores, and we have things like errands, so that you can begin to get some sense of what's going on here. The second part of this system is deciding. And this is deciding what you want for big categories of your life. What is important to you? What is important to you career-wise? What is important to you family-wise, health-wise? You decide what are those categories that are important to you, and you decide what you want them to be. You create a vision or an intention, or you get very specific. I want to close $300,000 worth of business in fill in the blank. You can be very specific or set intentions in this phase. The third phase is understanding the limits of resources. We all only have 168 hours in the week. We all have limited finances, most of us anyway, I'd say, and we all only have so much energy. And once you get very deliberate about what you want in your life, it becomes clear how you're going to divvy these things up. If I know I want to close that business by the end of whatever, is it reasonable that I'm also trying to exercise certain many hours a week? You kind of have to weigh what's actually going to work based on what those most important decisions are for you. And the fourth one is planning and executing. And this I love. I don't know about you all, but I love getting all of it now and then figuring out how it's going to actually work in real time on a weekly basis. This is a very large category of things that you can do, but I just have 1.5 suggestions today. One is to do a weekly preview. You can do this on a Thursday, you can do this on the weekend, you can do it on Monday. What I do is I take everything from my electronic calendar or calendars and I put them into paper. And as I start writing that out, I see what is actually going to be possible in a given week. If I have something happening on Saturday and my days are jammed up Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, when do those materials need to be prepared so that I'm ready on Saturday? I get much more strategic and thoughtful, and when you do this, it becomes very easy to know what to say no to. You become very clear on your priorities, and saying no becomes much easier because you are rooted in what you believe and you know is aligned with what you want for your life. So I would encourage you to take any one of those tips and begin to implement it. Help your people create. Help yourself create. This is where innovation is. Create the time and space for creativity. Grow. Help your people grow. Help yourself grow. Grow financially. Grow personally. And increase your productivity. Make your products and services better. Create the time and space so that this can happen for you. Ultimately, decide. Help your teams decide. This framework can be used in any team management type of environment. I'd encourage you to build your best life, build your best blueprint, and as Robert Collier said, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in, day out. Thank you.